It's time to embrace your dark feminine energy, to unleash it, to activate the full spectrum of your dark feminine power, to reclaim it so that you become the embodied whole goddess that you are, the dark and the light goddess. And not only are you transformed, but every part of your life will completely shift. You will manifest miracles like they are natural as you come into this wholeness of your dark and light feminine energy. If you're ready to embody this depth of your beautiful dark goddess power, I'm going to teach you everything today. You're going to learn what is dark feminine energy, the difference between dark and light feminine energy, how to activate your dark feminine energy in a way that is truly life-changing. And then I'm going to take you through a beautiful transformational process that is rooted in the ancient goddess mystery schools, in timeless divine feminine wisdom. You will not be the same once you start applying everything that I'm going to share with you. So let's get ready. Welcome. My name is Syma, and I am a goddess coach and author of best-selling books, Goddess Reclaimed and Manifest Soulmate Love. And I help women all over the world to be and have everything they desire by reclaiming their full divine feminine power, embodying their goddess. Let's begin by understanding what is dark feminine energy. Dark feminine energy is your raw, pure feminine power. In nature, this connects to the winter and fall season. It is a goddess of the underworld who has been revered in cultures and times forever. She holds the power to help you to transform. Oftentimes, she's been feared and seen as a threat because she is so powerful. It is the untamed, uncontrollable force of nature that is a woman's nature. And this part of your nature, of our power, has been a threat to the patriarchy. And so it's been oppressed, it's been condemned, it's been, for centuries. And we have forgotten how powerful we are, and we have forgotten how to harness our full dark divine feminine power in order to live our most authentic lives, to really live from our full feminine power. But it's time to take it back. So your dark feminine energy is so multi-layered. It is that force within you that has the courage to face the deepest, darkest parts of your own being, of your psyche, of your emotions, of the subconscious. It is your power to descend with the goddesses of the underworld to heal yourself. In the most ancient stories of Inanna and Ereshkigal, it is the descent of the goddess. It is when Venus, when Mother Earth, when Venus, seems to go into retrograde and descends. It is when Mother Earth is in her death and rebirth cycle in her winter. So in all of nature, in so many cultures, your dark feminine energy has been worshipped, and it is time to reclaim it. I'm going to share with you so much depth here for you to love your dark feminine power. When you embrace this energy, this part of yourself, you actually begin to accept, not just witness and unconditionally accept every part of yourself, but you then integrate the unseen, the shadow self, the wounded self, your pain, your past. You begin to unearth it, face it, and love it into healing. So I'm going to share with you goddesses and beautiful practices and working with the goddesses that can support you with this process. It's also your untamed power to transform any part of your life. If there's anything in your life that's not working for you, if there's patterns that you are ready to break free of, your dark feminine energy is what liberates you. It's what gives you that courage. It is what gives you that F this shit, no more energy and moment that we all need sometimes in our life to walk away and close a door and create an ending. It is the energy of death and rebirth. It is the energy of the dark, and really embracing that as a necessary part of being in the cycle, because the goddess is cyclical. So in the dark, part of the goddess, we are in her death, rebirth, and transformation phase. And it is transformation on every level, so that as you embrace the descent and reclaiming and integrating all of your dark feminine energy and power, you ascend, rebirthed, and renewed and reignited in even more wisdom and power. So I'm going to get so into all the different layers of your dark feminine power and energy and how you can embrace it. Next, I'd love to share with you what is dark feminine energy and what is light feminine energy. So dark feminine energy, let's look at it through the lens of the cycles of the goddess and her full spectrum, the full spectrum of divine feminine energy and gifts. The dark goddess is, like I shared before, the shedding, the releasing, the transformation, the death, the rebirth, the winter season, Venus in retrograde, it's goddess Lilith, it's the waning dark part of the moon. It's when, as women, when we're on our periods or premenstrual or menopausal, like it's that dark, beautiful energy and power. And then light feminine energy is celebrated as maiden, mother, as the goddesses of earth and heaven and all the blessings we desire, our own maiden goddess sensuality and sacred sexuality and beauty and radiance and our desires and our receptivity and that like mother goddess energy. So these are the seasons of spring and the new moon energy. It's like the mother energy in the summer, earth at her most fertile and flourishing. So this is manifestation, this is abundance, this is manifesting from your feminine, being a channel of blessings as, you know, like that full right flourishing goddess. Flourishing goddess, by the way, is the name of my queendom. And you'll always find me if you want to on flourishinggoddess.com. So this is the light goddess, is the flourishing goddess energy. Okay, she is fruitful, fertile, sensual, receptive, beauty. She cares about love and family and community and manifestation and generosity and creating and living your best and most flourishing and beautiful life. It's so beautiful, right? So it's the cycle of the goddess. And if we think of it like the triple goddess, the maiden, mother, crone energy, light goddess is that maiden mother, and then the dark goddess is our, you know, the crone energy. So that's one lens. And then the other way we can look at it is goddess energy of the queens, the queen goddesses. Inanna, Ereshkigal, here they are in my book. I'll try to have a picture for you, a more clear one, but in my book, Goddess Reclaimed, which I highly recommend you and every woman who wants to be in your feminine power, gift herself, journey yourself through. Here we have, let's see if you can see them, Inanna and Ereshkigal. And so Ereshkigal is queen of the underworld, right? Of the unconscious, of healing, of shadow work, of death and transformation. And then the light goddess, the light feminine energy is her sister, Inanna, queen of heaven, queen of earth. So again, her gifts are sensuality, love, beauty, relationships, leadership, abundance, luxury, pleasure, bliss, right? So like all the fun, good, sexy, beautiful stuff we can associate with the love goddesses, or the light goddesses, love as well. And of course, those goddesses are so multidimensional as well. And that light feminine energy is so powerful as well. But what happens is sometimes if we only focus on the light goddess energy, we miss this depth of our intuition, of our warrior goddess power. And like what can happen as an example is, let's say we're very much in maiden goddess energy. So we need to balance that energy with the dark feminine energy, the dark goddesses who are like, we're going to have some self-respect, we're going to have power, we're going to have standards, we're going to have boundaries, we're going to learn how to say no, we're going to be in sovereignty. And when you unite and integrate the full cyclical nature, or how I say in my Awaken Goddess training, where we awaken you to your full spectrum goddessness, that is when the magic happens. All right. So I can go so deep into every one of these things, but I want to keep moving along because we have so much to cover still with our beautiful goddesses. So that's just a little snapshot of the difference between dark and feminine energy and light feminine energy. Now let's flow into the how to actually activate your dark feminine energy in a way that is life-changing. All right, I'm going to take you through well, let's just call it a step-by-step process, even though that feels more masculine to me. But this process is actually rooted in ancient goddess mystery schools of our feminine wisdom, of a woman's journey of rebirth, transformation into miracle manifestations. That's what happens like in my Awaken Goddess training, where we go through this journey in depth in 6 months. For my own journey, earlier in my life, I met the dark goddesses. So I actually didn't get to start with the maiden goddess energy when I was a teenager, when I was actually like age-wise a maiden. I was initiated more into the dark feminine energy because of a lot of childhood trauma. And so I had depression and self-loathing and horrible periods and acne and physical and emotional and mental and spiritual complete descent. And then like psychologically it was PTSD. So I first met the face of the dark goddess, and I had to meet my dark feminine energy. I was initiated into the mysteries and the power of dark feminine energy very early in my life. It's sad that I went through those horrible childhood experiences and abuses. I am also so deeply grateful that I got to meet the healing power and the unconditional love of the dark goddess, and really embrace this part of feminine power, especially coming from a very oppressive culture, a culture that is very threatened by the feminine and oppresses the feminine in every way, and oppresses women a lot in my personal experience, and in a lot of parts of the culture. And so the dark goddess, meeting her was quite rebellious for me. There were a lot of consequences in how I had to take a stand for myself and end cycles of abuse and feminine oppression, and say no, and make my own choices for my body, for my future, for my love, for like so every part of my life earlier with my family. And the dark goddesses are what healed me, what gave me courage and power to take a stand and to be true to myself no matter the cost, and to live my truest life. And then eventually, gave me the pathway to connect to the light goddesses to create my most flourishing life of love and abundance and purpose and overflow. So I'm really deeply passionate about you embracing and loving and appreciating and harnessing your full feminine power, including everything that the dark goddesses have to offer you. Okay, so the first part of the dark goddess from my book, as I share, is the mystery, the void, the darkness. She's represented in Goddess Reclaimed as Goddess Siege. This is dark feminine energy as emptiness, stillness, silence, and the void. It is in our human experience when we tend to be really freaked out because we're in uncertainty. It's like we go through those life periods sometimes where everything seems to have purged and we're in limbo. You know those moments in your life when you're in limbo, when you're in transition, when one job completes or a relationship ends, but it's like not the new thing hasn't come in yet, and we're in the in-between. It can feel so like we can feel, if we're not connected to dark feminine, unsupported, untethered, ungrounded. But this is where the dark goddess begins our initiatory journey as women, in the in-between. And for her, the in-between is not anything to fear. It is not uncertainty. It is the mystery. And you're not in the void, you're in the womb. You're in the womb of the goddess. So we begin our journey by coming to trust. Here she is, Goddess Siege. Entering the dark mysteries, entering in any phase of your life, any part of your life right now where you are in uncertainty, where you are in the in-between, to really let yourself be there in a space of actually infinite potential. Because Goddess Siege, like many goddesses of the void, are actually the womb of all of creation, and all of creation eventually is birthed through them. There's Goddess Aditi, there's these goddesses from all times with all names who are the darkness, the depth, the void, the mystery. So as a woman, you have the power, the ancient power that you get to resurrect and tap into, your dark feminine energy of the mystery, the void, the womb. And in that darkness, allow yourself to incubate. And one practice you can, I hope that you can take for yourself when you're in this space, or to connect and activate this part of dark feminine energy, is stillness, silence, slowing down, resting, and trusting. And I invite you to even like make a womb-like place for yourself where you can just take a nap and hold yourself. Be comfortable in nothingness. Be comfortable and trust that nothingness is the dark, divine, feminine womb waters, the black, fertile soil through which the seeds of the next new beginnings are going to implant and eventually sprout and birth into renewal. The next phase of embracing and activating your dark feminine energy, especially with the goddesses, which is so powerful for us women. And you can connect with the goddesses, by the way, in any level that resonates with you, as energies, as archetypes, as deities, as goddesses. I do so in all the ways. So just let this resonate with you in a way that you can work with. All right. Okay. So the next phase is Inanna Ereshkigal. It's Ereshkigal, it's shadow work with the goddesses. The underworld goddesses, there's so many other goddesses that can support you with this, but dark feminine energy supports you in facing your shadow, facing those parts of yourself that can be scary to face, that can be uncomfortable. I remember when I was on my fertility journey, I had to face parts of myself that were so uncomfortable. I felt such grief and pain and rage, and in my lowest moments, like maybe I'm unworthy to be a mother. These are the kind of beliefs that were beginning to form that I had to really face and be in the pain of that, and be in the pain of how far back they went into my childhood. Things that I thought I'd healed, there was like a new layer of that, in the journey. And so a lot of times, especially us women who are very committed to our self-work, we might come to a place in our life, be like, again, I have to still focus on this unworthiness wound, or not valuing myself, or my fear of abandonment, or not being good enough, or right. And so, yes, it's cyclical, it's a spiral. And there's the next layer that the descent goddesses help you to activate your dark feminine energy so that you can face and embrace every part of yourself. And the very goddess Ereshkigal and these dark goddesses, one of the greatest gifts that they bestow upon us is that the very parts of ourselves that we are most afraid to face, or that we resist, are the parts of us that are most needing and deserving of our unconditional witnessing and embracing, acceptance, and love. And that is the ancient story of the descent and the ascent of Inanna, of her rebirth. So I'm inviting you to really embrace your dark feminine energy and give yourself permission to activate it through a practice that supports you, journaling. I'll leave a link for videos that I have. I have another video called Shadow Work with the Goddesses that can really support you. But really giving yourself that space, especially when you're going through something, or you're feeling emotional, or you want to numb the emotions and escape and binge watch TV or shop or do something else, to actually get uncomfortable. Feel the depth, the full depth of your dark emotions, and give them space, right? Whether that's through therapy, or through a mentor or coach like myself, through journaling, talking to a loved one, right? Talking to the goddesses, whatever works for you. But I hope you'll give yourself a practice to embrace your dark feminine energy through the life-changing power of shadow work and how that really helps us once we embrace our shadow and those dark, hidden parts of ourselves, we become whole. We alchemize that dark into our golden wisdom and power. If you're loving learning about the goddesses and want to have an experience of awakening them, I would like to take a moment to invite you to come to my website, flourishinggoddess.com. Sign up for my email where you're going to immediately receive my 14 goddess meditation and activation and beautiful goddess trainings, free and exclusive insider offerings that I only share with my email list queens. It's really such a powerful place to be. So sign up at flourishinggoddess.com to receive goddess gifts from me that can really help you to awaken and embody the full spectrum of your goddess gifts. I want to share on a side note that I'm not sure when this video is coming out, but I'm doing a goddess Ereshkigal circle. So when I lead a circle, I take you through connecting more deeply with a singular goddess and her gifts and immersing with her. It's like you become one with her. You feel and receive her power, her magic, her gifts. You awaken them within yourself. I take you through goddess wisdom teachings and a beautiful meditation and just ritual and ceremony. So I actually have now 69 goddess circles on my course website called flourishinggoddessschool.com, and the goddess Ereshkigal is the latest one. So whether you end up joining live depending on the timing of this video or get the recording, I highly recommend that you journey with Ereshkigal. And what I'll do for you is all the goddesses that I'm sharing with you in this video, I will create a special bundle with a beautifully special price so that you'll basically save a lot more than like paying for the full bundle. So it'll just be a fraction of the cost of if you bought them all individually. I'll leave all the links for you in the description. Let's continue our journey and now activate your dark feminine energy through transformation. This is fire. So the goddess that comes through here for us is goddess Pele. She is the Hawaiian volcano goddess. I have another video for her as well that I'll leave for you. Super powerful. And this is your fire. This is your divine feminine fire. And for myself, this was so healing. So the shadow goddesses is where I actually got to heal my deepest wounds. I was blessed to actually get therapy in high school through a psychologist. Even a chaplain. I went to Catholic high school. So there was like spiritual counseling and psychological support, and I'm not a therapist by any means, and I fully, recommend that you get any help that is needed for your well-being. But what I found in my journey was it wasn't until I connected with the goddesses and the dark goddesses that I was truly able to heal as a woman, everything on an energetic and physical level. And so part of that was this fire, like giving myself full permission to process somatically, physically, energetically that rage. Like, first of all, embrace it as sacred, right? Not deny it, but really embrace the rage of like all the people that abused me, violated me, all the horrors that I went through in my childhood. And hopefully like you don't have that. Hopefully, you're not dealing with anything that severe, but all of us, we go through shit in our life. And Pele is that goddess where when that shit hits the fan, when you're facing a challenging situation, she doesn't mess around. She will help you to really feel your fury and embrace it. And she'll actually teach you that the fire of your raw emotions are a force of nature. If you suppress them, when as women we suppress our raw fire of sacred rage, whether it's for ourselves personally or with like the systems, the structures of our world still, all the things that we face as women, if we suppress it, two things happen. Either that volcano one day is going to explode in a way that may be harmful to us or others, like through an expression of anger or it's just maybe not the healthiest expression that serves us or others. Or you keep pressing it until that fire begins to die and becomes dormant, and then you lose your life force and your Shakti And you can really feel that I've been at that point earlier in my life where I felt completely lacking and depleted in my life force, in my Shakti. And Pele, the volcanic energy, once her fires cool, they're the black, rich, fertile, dark goddess soil of rebirth and renewal and creating paradise, her paradise islands and heaven on earth. So that Shakti is your raw feminine power that you must embrace in order to fuel the fire of your passion for the next level that you're creating for your life, right? So it's like, as an example, you're in a really crappy job, which I was. I used to be in the corporate world once upon a time, and it was so horrible for me. It was so toxic and abusive. I was basically repeating patterns from my childhood over there. And I kept trying to be in my light goddess energy, right? Of like, I'm going to forgive my bosses for being so abusive, and I'm going to see their inner child and send their inner child love, and I'll love everyone into healing. Then eventually it was just unbearable, and I was actually getting panic attacks. I saw a doctor who said that you only have these breathing issues when you're on your way to work or at work. So it's work-related anxiety and panic attacks. And, you know, choice is yours. He was going to give me medicine, and I was like, fuck this shit. I had my goddess Pele moment of no, I should not have to take anxiety medication to keep a job. That is not acceptable. So she gave me that moment of embracing my anger and not trying to be always in this compassionate light goddess energy of forgiveness, but being like, fuck this. This is not acceptable treatment for anyone. And, you know, like for me, my workplace, I can't accept this. So I raised concerns with HR and I was forced to resign. And that was one of the best exits of my life, because then I got to be free. And yes, I did live in that mystery, right? In the in-between, I didn't know that I was going to become a, you know, full-time healer, high priestess, author, changing women's lives, awakening them to their goddess. When I was in the in-between, it was exactly what I shared in the beginning of being in that trust and embracing the mystery. But here we are. So I invite you to really embrace the dark feminine power of your inner fire. And a practice that I recommend is whenever you need to process really raw emotions or have your fuck this shit moment, just give yourself space and privacy to put on some primal music and dance it out, scream it out, shake it out. And then slowly and gently, I lead you through a whole ritual. So in Goddess Reclaimed, there is a beautiful ritual to activate every initiation with every goddess. So I believe there's something similar in there, but yeah, just get it out of your system, clear the vessel through the fire of transformation with goddess, with your inner dark goddess. The next dark feminine energy to activate the way to really reclaim your dark divine feminine power is as your warrior goddess. So in my book, we have goddess Kali. This is the warrior goddess energy. She's, again, through so many times and cultures. There's goddess Sekhmet behind me. This is the warrior goddess energy to sever cords with every situation that is draining you. An inner pattern of fear and doubt and self-sabotage and outer patterns of limitation and lack. It's all from the goddess Kali's perspective. It's all untruth. It is not who you are. So goddess Kali, either we meet her or she meets us, and it's much better for us to meet her. It's much better for us to proactively decide that we are going to liberate ourselves, that we are going to free ourselves of, not that like as a human being we have to always be fearless, right? But it's that we can face our fears and then go do the thing anyway. We can live from our power. We can be true to ourselves. We can rise up and yeah, just be truthful, be honest with ourselves, with what we want, with what we deserve. And she will help us. The dark feminine energy of the warrior goddess will always empower you, especially to make life-changing decisions. Whenever you are in a place in your life that you really need courage and confidence to go forth, to be bold, to be true, Goddess Kali, your dark warrior goddess power, summon it. Have your sacred weapons and cut those cords, goddess. liberate yourself, free yourself. Truly on a much more spiritual level, Goddess Kali and the warrior goddesses, they liberate us from our fears, from all the ways that we are limiting ourselves and not being true to ourselves. And again, it could be a toxic job, a relationship that's not honoring us, or situations that are draining us. And especially, okay, so this is how, like I said, one way is for us to meet her. The second is she will meet us. Whenever you become complacent in a situation that is not for your highest good, first the light goddesses will gently nudge you and give you signs and synchronicities and give you those intuitive nudges. And then when you don't listen, Goddess Kali, the warrior goddesses from love, will be like, all right, ready or not, here we come. We are going to get you out of this situation. And even we don't care how uncomfortable it makes you, but that relationship is not what you deserve. That crappy job is not what you deserve. That low paycheck is not what you deserve, right? So they will just completely, it's like death, rebirth, it's the tower, it's happening, like it or not. Yeah. And in that moment, all you can do is surrender as she has her way. And trust, though, that you are actually being called to rise in your beautiful, pure, divine feminine power and your truth and your liberation and your courage. And before we move on, let me just show you Goddess Kali here from my book. Like Sekhmet, like Kali Ma, this is your dark feminine energy where you revel in battle. And it's not like battle to harm anything or anyone. It's overcoming and slaying your demons, your fears, those situations that don't serve you, tongue sticking out, panting like a lioness with that vibe of let's go. The next way to activate your dark feminine energy is the wild woman. It's Lilith. I love Goddess Lilith's energy. So as I was saying, when I was younger on my journey and I had to face so many challenges, I went through with the earlier goddesses that I've taken you through so far. And then eventually, once I got the healing and Kalima level courage to say no, I had to be Goddess Lilith, right? Here she is. And be the rebel, be the revolutionary. What that did is it ended cycles of oppression in my feminine lineage. And it freed us as women to get an education, to marry who we want, to make our own money, to live our life on our own terms, to have healthy marriages. Thankfully, me and all my sisters have such beautiful, healthy marriages, married to the divine masculine men embodied, which is the opposite of what we grew up with and saw and witnessed all around us. And I was the leader of this. And so I truly believe that when you embrace your inner Lilith, your inner rebel, you are revolutionizing things not only for yourself, but your feminine lines and for women everywhere. Lilith is that energy, is that dark feminine life force that accommodating others, pleasing others, obeying, giving away your power, not being true to yourself is not acceptable. Lilith was exiled for choosing not to be subservient to Adam. And then Adam gets Eve, who is much more docile and controllable, until Lilith tempts her with the snake and the apple and is like, girl, wake up. This is not heaven. You have no power here. And we know the story, at least the one that we're told, right? So Lilith is waking us all up. Like, don't go away your power. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hold your boundaries. Have the best standards. And do what the fuck you want with your life. Create life on your terms. So in my life, so much of what I have created, I was told was impossible, naive, not doable. I have, for example, a flourishing feminine business where sacred sales come 24/7 while I'm sleeping. I wake up to beautiful payments of offerings. And even more importantly is that the messages I receive are how life-changing they are, how life-changing Goddess Reclaim the book is, YouTube videos, my goddess circles, activations, courses, trainings, like to hear every single day from women all over the world, clients and sometimes strangers, like who are just saying, oh, I bought your book, I watched your videos, and here's how they've changed my life, helped me to heal, transform, manifest my dreams. There's nothing in the world like it. And so Lilith is that energy to remind us to be true to ourselves. And what I want to share is this. I really know we get to be and have it all from our feminine, right? So in my world, when you join me, when you're in my Awaken Goddess training, especially, I teach you how to be and have it all from your feminine. So I work like 3 afternoons a week right now because I'm devoted in motherhood. My baby, it's almost 3, but he's still my baby. I have like 1 more year before he starts school, less than a year. And so I really love this time. I've always taken Fridays off. I still, as a mother, even have Fridays as self-care day. And if you look at me, it looks like I'm, a very fulfilled, devoted stay-at-home mom, but I'm so much more than that. And I get to be all of it. I am here for us not having to choose. My inner Lilith has helped me by embracing that dark feminine energy, being like, I'm going to be the rebel. I'm going to revolutionize what it means to be a woman who can be and have it all from your feminine. More importantly, you get to do so on your terms. So my terms are freedom, flourishing, generosity, and bliss, and feminine receptivity, deep self-care and nourishment. So I'm always giving from an overflowing cup. My terms are that nothing I'm doing or have in my life takes away or conflicts with. It's not the vibe of like, how do you balance it all as a woman? My terms are everything in my life overflows like cups, and they all overflow into each other. Me having the self-care nourishes me as a mother. I then am a devoted present mother, and then that helps me to put all this joy, and my creativity pours into my work, and the love, like my heart opens for my clients, and then they receive miracles, and then that makes me happier, and then that inspires more gratitude when I'm with my family. Like everything overflows and pours into each other. So those are like my terms. What are your terms? This is my question for you to connect with your dark feminine Lilith goddess vibes are, what have you been told you can't do or have the way that you want? And what would it be like if you said, fuck that? What if you said, I'm gonna be the revolutionary. I'm gonna be the rebel. I'm gonna do it my way. Not to prove anything to anyone, but just to be true to yourself above all. And that's the thing. So one of your goddess coaching homeworks is either please be really discerning of who you listen to, and if you're on social media, follow the people that are showing you that your way is possible. And if you don't see it out there right now, decide from your dark feminine Lilith goddess, wild woman, rebel, revolutionary power that I'm meant to be the one to create it and to be the leader to inspire others. And again, in my life, my mom owns a boutique, she has her own business, and she went from depending on my father her whole life, who was not dependable, and we had so much financial chaos, and now she's like this independent businesswoman, right? And it's given her so much more sovereignty, and how she commands my father treat her in her own. It's just like, it's life-changing. My cousins back home, they have their careers and they're choosing who they want to marry. They have kids and they get help so they can have it all. I've led that way. So you're meant to lead the way. So you be the one. You be the Lilith, the wild woman, the rebel, to revolutionize for yourself and your lines and for us women everywhere. Okay, I hope you're feeling so activated, empowered, inspired in your dark, divine, feminine energy. I could go so deep into each one of these, and if you want to go deeper, I recommend my book, Goddess Reclaimed, and my Goddess Circles, so that you can really connect with each one of these goddesses. Okay, let me share with you now my final goddess for this video, because I know it's already quite long. So the last way I'll share here in this beautiful divine feminine journey to connect with your dark feminine energy, to reclaim your divine feminine power, is your crone goddess, is the witch woman, the wise woman. We meet her as the second last, the 12th goddess here. She's goddess Bridget here, but I'm actually connecting with her for us as Hecate, as the witch, the wise woman, the crone. This is the energy of your period, menopause, perimenopause, the waning moon, dark winter, the descent energy, the underworld. It's the shedding, It's the releasing, it's the rest, the rebirth. This is a beautiful time when we connect with this energy, and this will be your goddess coaching homework as well. Is if you're in your menstruating years, that when you're PMSing, I call that powerful magical sorceress time. That is when you are your most magical. That is when you are your most psychic, intuitive, and discerning. So actually that energy that you feel, right, where you're maybe a little less patient, more emotional. Oh my God, I used to go through that so badly. Like I PMS like crazy. I had such horrible cramps. My periods were just, I would dread them every single month. I would be bedridden with pain, right, in my teens. And unfortunately, that was because of all the trauma that was lodged in there. And what helped me so much to heal my relationship with not just my periods, but my dark feminine power, that part of that cycle for me in my body. And then now, like with the moon and the seasons, is transforming my periods, or like if you're not on your periods, that waning dark moon time, the winter time, into a portal of the crone goddess. It's your magic, it's your discernment, it's your shedding and your releasing. As women, that's the time of our cycle where we are literally shedding the whole past cycle. We're shedding, we're so freaking magical. If you want a video on the power of your period, your cycle, how to harness it, let me know. I love this stuff, so I can make that for you. And I also want to know in the comments, please tell me which of these goddesses, this dark feminine energy, you are so excited to activate. I actually want to know two things. I want to know if there's a dark feminine energy or goddess here that you already have embodied. I want to know the story. I want to know, did you choose her or did she come to you? Was it like life that initiated you into that? You weren't expecting it? Or did you go out of your way to find this power within yourself? So tell me the tea. And then I want to know in the comments, I would love for you to share which one of these energies is like calling to you, right? Go meet the goddess before she comes and meets you. Okay, so yeah, this crone goddess energy. Oh, she is the magician, the sorceress, the wise woman, the medicine woman. When we connect with this dark feminine energy, we know how to just naturally release what's not serving us, to shed it, to take off that layer of untruth. It's a beautiful time. Let's say I'll give you this as a goddess coaching practice to either work with your period time, your premenstrual time, or the dark moon. If you're pregnant, if you're menopausal, if you have irregular cycles right now. By the way, working with this energy really helps you to take back the power of your cycle. And I love my periods, even through infertility, I still love my periods. So they really become such portals of dark feminine energy and power, release and renewal. I'm going to welcome you to give yourself time to rest, review, release, refine. If you're into astrology and you know when this Mercury retrograde, it's the time. Release, rest, renew, replenish, refine, all the ring. As women, if we're in our menstruating cyclical, time of our life, we get that every time we bleed. Every single time we get that opportunity in our dark feminine phase, the crone goddess phase, to release. And you're extra psychic and magical. So if you're like, Syma, I don't get my periods right now, what do I do? Okay, well, the moon is always there, whether or not you can see her. So during the dark moon energy, that's when full moon is when we're also very psychic, but the shedding the darker the moon gets, the more psychic and inward we go. So it is really a time of going inward and retreating and getting quiet so that you can shed mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and then become a more clear, potent, magical sorceress of what's next, what you want to create next, what is the next level in alignment with your power, your truth, your authenticity, your standards, your boundaries for the new cycle. So that is activating your dark feminine energy through your crone goddess energy, your inner witch and wise woman. There's so much more we can get into, but get the book, join my circles to delve much deeper. I have another video called Awakening Your Witch Goddess Wisdom, and any videos that I have for dark feminine vibes, I will leave in the description for you. Binge watch them, especially make a date for yourself for your next period or the next dark moon or like winter vibes, you know, dark goddess retreat vibes. I've got you. Okay, here we are. So I hope you have received so much gold for connecting with your dark feminine energy. I hope it's like so sexy and joyful and fun for you. I hope you're feeling really empowered by it. And I want to hear from you in the comments now that you know these different multi-layered dark goddesses, dark feminine energy. Yeah. Which one spoke to you? Which one have you already embraced? Which is the one who's calling you? And get to her before she gets to you. If you have requests for to go deeper on any of these topics, these areas, these goddesses, these divine feminine energies, let me know as well. I'm so excited to get back to my YouTube channel. I missed you all. And like if you're new here, you can binge watch all the years of videos that are here, but I want to make like videos that are going to obviously serve you at the deepest, inspire you, empower you. So, you know, we can keep journeying together. And come to flourishinggoddess.com so you sign up and receive my 14 goddess meditation. I'm going to take you through all your chakras, your beautiful divine feminine energy centers, and really awaken your goddess gifts at every center, connecting more deeply with the light and dark goddesses. So I hope this has served you. Obviously subscribe, get the notifications, like, share, right? Let's like be in our flourishing goddess realm together and continue to awaken all of our feminine gifts and flourish into the goddesses that we are. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look so forward to seeing you in my next video. Namaste, goddess.